What's going on, guys? Chris, the Bonafide Hustler, coming to you live from the inside of my garage, aka the Boddamn Gym. So check it out, making sure that everything is going right. I have two feeds going on, and I want to show you the garage sale haul that I aim to sell on eBay, Craigslist, and my antique booth. This all came from last Saturday and a little bit from Friday. A couple of little pieces came from Savers on Friday, so we'll check those things out here in 1 second. I want to make sure I sound good, right? Because I'm routing the sound through some different stuff. I don't have the headset on, so let me know if you guys can hear me real well. And then we'll get started. So I am also watching this live on Facebook. So if you don't want to stream this live on YouTube, you want to watch it on Facebook, it's there. Facebook just said, congrats, this is your 10th broadcast. Facebook Live is a lot of fun. It takes a little bit more of a steady signal to get it operating, right? But anyway, what's up, 14 Emelina, drummer? What's up, Mike Rowley, Girl on Fire, Hoobie the Real, Chicago Crown Hustler. All right, so it sounds good. So let's get to the first find of the actual show, right? So in no particular order, we'll just go with this one right now, because I think this was like $3 or maybe $5. I can't remember. You'll see it on the ride along. What this is just a basic, I wouldn't really consider this a basic weight belt, right? Usually when you want to deal with weight belts, there are differences between, almost like recreational weight belts and then powerlifting belts, right? Which this is a powerlifting belt, okay? It's a really thick, super thick leather. Usually it will come with like a ratchet type mechanism up here, and the lower grade ones are going to come with this buckle type system, just like a belt buckle, right? And it's pretty hard to put on if you don't have the ratchet thing. But anyway, super thick leather. The lady that sold this to me was like, I did it for a little bit, then I kind of get out of it. It's in really, really good shape. Now it does have Huntsville on the back. I don't think anybody's going to care. It was asking price $8. The lady sold it to me for $5. So I think it was $5. Anyway, so this is a good deal. I think I could considerably sell this thing for like $50 to $60 pretty confidently, because like I said, it's not the kind of powerlifting belt that you would find at an Academy or a Dick's Sporting Goods or one of those sporting goods stores. This is really, really high quality stuff. It's definitely powerlifting style stuff. So good to see you guys. What's up, Linda's? What's up, drummer? All right. So yeah, and it's one of those things, like I said, like if you show up to a gym, there might be 1 or 2 people in the gym that have this, like something like this on. Most will have just a general recreation type weightlifting belt, maybe made by Harbinger or Vallejo or something like that. But this is real deal stuff. Now I am going to put a little bit more detail about this stuff into the green room, so you can go check that out. That is the second link down below, the Green Room University. And if you want to learn more about items that resell on eBay, on Craigslist, Amazon, or maybe even an antique booth, you have to check out 100 amazing items to resell. It's the first link down below, all right? Put it in your phone. A lot of people love this guide. It's something we built a long time ago, and we are revamping it with a 2.0 version, which will have essentially the same stuff. It'll just be dressed up better, and it's just gonna look way more visually appealing. So check that out. And if you are part of the green room, let me know. Hoobie the Real saying, Hoobie's a green room member. If you're part of the green room already, let me know. And do you like it, right? So that's the first find right there. No particular order. I went to a Goodwill. Now these, I don't even know the brand of these boots, okay? But take a guess why I actually popped on them. Go ahead, talk about it. What do you guys think? So Andrew Kunkel from Facebook is saying those belts are $100 plus new. That's the real deal for powerlifting. Yeah, so those type of belts, don't pass them up when you're at a garage sale. I want to say that $5 is the most I've ever paid for one of those type of belts. The best I've ever got a deal on one of those was like $1, and I sold it for like 59 or something like that. So anyway, what do you guys think here? Yeah, that's right, snakeskin. More than likely, I don't know, could be python or rattlesnake, but it is in really good condition. It's the type of boot that someone's gonna like see in my booth and go, wow, that's one of a kind, right? Really nice two-tone. We have the snakeskin right here. This could have been black. It could have been beige. It could have been tan, but it's a really, really good color contrast. And I really do feel as if I could probably put these in my booth for somewhere around $60 to $100. I spent $14.99 on them from a Goodwill. And you might be thinking, well, didn't you always preach to us, Bonafide, to buy name brand boots? Tony Lama, Larry Mahans, Lucchese, Justin, things like that. Yes, buy those good brands. But when you find a really interesting kind of an anomaly type item like this, the brand is not going to matter anymore, right? Because the person that's buying it is buying it for the, the appeal of the rarity, or, how much conversation it'll start down the road, or, how much of an individual it makes them feel. So you won't see these very often prancing around town in Austin, Texas, So Good condition, 10.5 men's, and definitely something I had to pop on, right? You might be thinking, man, like boots after 10 bucks, isn't that kind of expensive? But my play here is to take that $14.99 and multiply it into, like I said, somewhere between $60 and $100. And at that point, it becomes like a really, really good deal. So check that out. I just sold a pair of boots in my booth yesterday. They gave me on the check net after commissions and everything like 38 bucks, and these boots were $10 at a garage sale 2 weeks ago. So boots sell fast in my booth, and I have to constantly put them in my booth. But this is not going to go to eBay. So anyway, good to see you guys. And it's definitely, yes, like Into Somebody at the Beach is saying on YouTube, these are nice boots for all those cowboys in Texas. Yeah, so cool boots for sure, I know. All right, so for my savers on Friday, I was getting kind of bored because I had to, I got something done at Best Buy, and they had to keep my vehicle in there. So I walked over to Savers and popped on 3 things, actually 4 things, but the 4th thing's not here. One of the things I popped on was this. Anytime that you guys go into thrift stores, make sure you look in the tennis racket section, okay? So what led me to pick up this tennis racket was the brand. Babolat is a really, really good brand, okay? Now, I like that brand. It seems like not everything Babolat, but a lot of Babolat stuff is up there selling for 50 or higher. Now, the second thing you want to do is pick up the racket, and you want to see how light it is. Now, this one's really, really light. I like, it's definitely a light racket. It's a 4 3/8 grip, which is a very, very common type grip, so that's good. That means the market is definitely bigger. And then we also deal with the fact that the head size of this one, while I like to have 110 on the head size, this one's 100, and that's about as low as I go with the head size. Seems pretty good. It looks like it's laced okay. Next thing you want to do is look at it visually and make sure it's like a perfect oval, because if it's not strung right, it will start warping, or if it's been used improperly, the oval will shift and it'll all look messed up. Next thing you want to do is check around the top, which I like to call the bumper. It's probably not called that, but that's okay. That's what I call it. And make sure there's no splintering or anything in the carbon or the graphite or whatever material you're using on the racket. But one of the most important things that I look for when I hustle rackets at thrift stores, it's typically at thrift stores where I find these things, is I look for the thickness of the overall racket, right? The thicker I see the racket, the more excited I start to become and the more liable I am to look it up on eBay, right? The thicker it gets and the lighter it gets, then that's pretty much a good sign of something worth looking up, all right? Other brands to check out: Prince, Wilson, the Wilson hammers that are great. I just sold a K-Factor like last week that I picked up for $5, sold it for like $69.99 or something like that. So not even that great of a racket, right? But it's just, people want something better than entry level. So intermediate to expert level stuff, yeah, definitely wanted stuff in the tennis world. So strangely enough, last month, I sent a racket off to Houston, right? And it ended up being a person that bought it was like, hey, I went to your high school. You're my friend, like back in the day. And I couldn't believe it. So small world, right? So, source really good rackets and you won't have to deal with anyone's BS. Like I said, all the information of the racket is typically right here in the inner triangle. All right, so take a look around there, and it'll be in really, really small print. Definitely one of the pictures that you want to include in eBay in one of your 12 pictures is the picture of that really nicely zoomed in, where it'll say the weight, it'll say the balance, and then it'll say the head size, which is really, really important. Okay, so the weight isn't as important as the head size. Same with the balance, not as important as the head size. The head size is 100 square inch. That's good, right? I don't think 100 is considered oversize. I think at 110 it is, but anything that says oversize around the racket too, check that out as well, because a lot of the other rackets that are really, really good, that are worth your hustling time, will say oversize. They'll be light and they'll be thick right around here. That's right. So Garage Flip says that's when Nadal plays. He plays, yeah, and Nadal was one of the keywords I put in when I listed this thing. So anyway, all right, I guess we're good. Stephanie Thorpe says it won't play for me. Anyone else having trouble? Hey, if you're in Facebook land and you're having trouble watching this video, let me know. But if you're in YouTube land, you got comments or whatever, then yeah. So James Nichols from YouTube is saying that I picked up a hammers and 2 pro staffs last week for 25 bucks. Wilson hammers are probably the #1 racket you're going to find out there that's worth your hustling time. Not all hammers, but a lot of them are going to be hyper hammers, hammers with rollers. There's hammer 6.2. There's so many hammers out there that it's just kind of like you pick it up. If it feels pretty light and everything, then start looking it up, because some of the hammers, will sell for like 30 or 40, but then a lot of them sell for like 50 plus. A lot of them do. And then what I find is another thing, that when you buy a racket and you're looking at it, and this part right here is all crusty and very sticky and black usually, then disclose that, right? Disclose that in your eBay listing. It's really important. And by the way, if you guys are enjoying this video, the only reason I'm saying this now, so I'm looking on Facebook land, which is over there on my phone, and people are just throwing likes like left and right. So you guys in YouTube have to do the same thing as well. Got 81 viewers in the house. I want you guys to hit the like button. Hit the like button for really good cheddar information, and hit the like button just for going live and that you're here, right? But going back to the grip, you know, you want to disclose when the grip is sticky and weird and icky, which will be in over 50% of the cases. You'll have a sticky, icky grip. Okay, so remember that. Okay, what else? I'm gonna save some of these for like maybe the tail end. I think it's pretty good. Now, this is a little bit more outside of people's knowledge. This is just normal stuff that if you have an antique booth, you should be picking this stuff up. Now, this guy merged both of these into one thing. Oh, yes, I finally separated it. Okay, that was not planned on the video, but so we have some merchandising trays for cool cigarettes. Strangely enough, none of this is cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, like, if you're smoking, that's great, but like, you should probably quit. It's not good for you, right? But so, yeah, this is probably stuff from back in the 70s, I would say. We have 2 cents, 3 cents all over some of this stuff. So maybe they were selling singles, which is super illegal now in the USA, selling single cigarettes, even though some convenience stores do it under the table. The highest I've ever seen someone charge for a single cigarette, like ever, was like 50 cents. I thought that was the craziest thing I've ever seen in my whole life. And that was like not too long ago. So, you know, you just notice some of these things when you're in line every now and then, but yeah, completely against the law, at least here in Texas. But these merchandising devices are pretty cool. We have one for like aspirin, and we have one for cigarettes. Maybe if you do too much of this, you're going to need some of that. But yeah, you know, made out of like tin or pressed metal, whatever you want to call it. And in my booth, this maybe 18, 20 bucks. This one, maybe 20 to 30 bucks because it's more cigarette memorabilia, right? Pretty cool, right? Check it out. Okay, so it looks good. On Facebook, we have 14 people live. We have 88 people in YouTube land, 32 likes in YouTube land. YouTube guys, you're way behind the Facebook people. You gotta hit that like button. So important, especially for bona fide analytics. You know what I'm talking about? All right, so I had to pick that up. What did I pay for each one of these? I paid $3 for both, so I know that much. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right, out of Savers, $5. Kind of a no-brainer. I plugged it in. Very important to plug these things in. This is a boombox, but not what you're normally accustomed to seeing. These are like mini boomboxes. They're neat because, you know, they can still play tapes and all that kind of stuff. Now, I haven't checked out the tape player on this one or any of that stuff. Hold on, the tape. So I haven't checked it out. It's very slow on ejecting, so that's one thing I might have to disclose. But then again, if it's in my booth, who cares? I did plug it in. The FM and AM radio were always going to work. I couldn't locate a tape at the Savers to test it, but even if it didn't test out, I would have still bought it because it has that cool, like, you know, it has that neat look to it. And people that are trying to decorate around their arcades or whatever around town, or maybe you have like a retro type theme in your garage, then you're going to want this on your shelf. It doesn't matter if it plays or not. You just want that look, right? So that's pretty interesting. And here in Austin, Texas, people are building bars with all kinds of themes, right? And themes are things from like steampunk to video games to stock exchange themes to all kinds of stuff. So a theme is really important. And when you're looking for boomboxes, yeah, you can get charged up the you-know-what on eBay for buying a really nice like Run DMC style sharp boombox or whatever. But when you deal with mini boomboxes, I mean, typically they're just neat. Like they can find themselves on Instagram pictures. People love this kind of stuff. And the funny thing is, Panasonic, to me, makes some of the best sounding boomboxes of like the 80s. This is probably an 80s boombox, okay? I kind of wish it was like a JVC one where it was like maroon or red. That would have been like extra cool because I've found that before. But, you know, black and gray are like the stereotypical like colors of boomboxes. But when you find the ones that are like off-white, you know, red, those are really neat. And those don't have to be working really at all. People just like to gut them, mess with them, you know, sometimes make them adaptable to play with a phone. Like there are a lot of cool things. So I thought this was really neat. And by the way, we got a rock star in the house. Michael Bombardier, I guess that's his name, shared my video on Facebook. Now that's a rock star right there. That hair though, bona fide. Yeah, man, my hair is growing out. So yeah, this boombox in my booth, I'm gonna try to ask somewhere between 30 and 50 bucks for it. I could put it to eBay if it works flawlessly, and I might, but then again, when you deal with boomboxes, about half of them are not gonna work perfect. Always wanna check the antenna as well. So when you're at the store, try to hone in on a radio station. None of this stuff's gonna be digital preset type stuff. It's gonna be a rolling tuning knob, which on this one is on the top, on the side, but sometimes they're on the top, like a rotating wheel. You wanna check out your actual buttons and make sure none of the buttons are busted or anything like that. And then expand the actual antenna, right? Make sure there's no kinks or breaks or bends in it. That's important. Always want to check the battery bay. So pop open that. Sometimes the cord will be in there, but the battery bay has no corrosion, so that's good. Although almost every single time the foam on the back here is going to be really crispy and it'll turn into powder. Yeah. But outside of that, what else do I check? I'm going to check the speaker grills. Any excessive amount of dents, then I won't mess with it, right? So yeah, excessive dents I won't. This one, you look at it flush, and we have no dents, so that's really, really good. All right, so very, very cool. I thought it was nice, and yeah, someone's saying, one witch lady is saying a lot of those cassette players had a soft opening, which was slower. So this one's like you press it, it should go faster than this. I know this because almost every boombox I've ever messed with is faster than this. So either this is just their thing, which it's not, because I've hustled many Panasonics, and it just doesn't, it should come out faster than that. So more than likely the spring is, 1980s spring inside, forcing this thing open. Yeah, probably worn down. Okay, so there it is right there. Check it out. What else do we got? Pretty standard pickup from Savers, $3. Actually, I use a 30% coupon on all this stuff. So, you do the math. It's really more like $2. Pair this up with the right game, and you probably have yourself somewhere around $50 to $60 on FBA. I think the game is World Tour 3, Guitar Hero, Legends of Rock 3, something like that. So pair it up with the right game. E-money popped on this, which is a Warring waffle maker. Now the whole thing is not steel or metal, and those are the ones you really want to look for. All right, waffle makers. The whole thing is, like I said, he's sold one not too long ago for around 60 or 100 bucks. That was full metal, heavy. This one's a little bit more like not commercial grade, which the other one he found was a little bit more commercial grade. So that right there has probably got a resale of about 30 to 40 bucks on eBay. What else did I find? Here we go. This is pretty interesting, and you'll see this on the video, which will, at the rate that I'm editing videos, it'll probably come out in like 2 months. Man, I just think I saw this deer sneeze. Like I picked it up and some like powder just came shooting out of its mouth. That's kind of gross. But anyway, we have a deer head, right? And everyone knows taxidermy sells pretty well. There's certain taxidermy type stuff you can't sell, like ducks, birds, fowl. Things in here in Texas you can't sell at like antique booths. And I think on eBay, I don't know what that's limited to, but I know there's certain like waterfowl acts or stuff where you cannot sell ducks in a shadow case or even stuffed or any of that stuff. There's certain rules to that stuff. But I know with these type animal heads on antlers, like this is okay in my booth to sell in Texas. So I'll be looking for around 60 to 80 on this guy. Nothing special about it, just a deer, maybe a white-tailed deer here from Texas. And its price when I bought it was 25. So I don't have an intact deer guy in my booth right now. I kind of need one. This will make the booth look extra cool and make people want to come in. So sometimes it's not about, crushing it with something. It's about having it in your booth so people walk in and get like, oh man, there's a lot of crazy cool stuff in this booth. So this is one of those things that would invite people to come in and take a look around, right? Pretty cool. One of the first finds of the morning last weekend. Oh man, that thing's gross. Okay, so one of the first things in the last weekend, I could pick this up, but I'm not going to, all right? So be on the lookout for this. This reminds me of KitchenAid type mixtures. It's the exact same like weight and everything, so it's heavy. I could bring it up there, but it's just really heavy. I don't want to like lift it around and stuff like that. This is a Champion juicer. All right, it says world's finest juicer. It's a centrifugal. That's not centrifugal. It's more like a masticating type. Huge motor that goes into this like cylinder thing where it really breaks down the pulp and all that stuff of the whatever you're doing, whether it's wheatgrass or whatever. You have a plunger type thing right here, which will force the food in. It could probably be more like wheatgrass style. I'm not 100% sure, but it definitely has the appearance of a more wheatgrass type juicer. They almost always look like this. Heavy duty, like I said, this is not plastic. Made by Champion, so go check out the sold prices on that. We bought that thing for $5, untested, at a garage sale with all the attachments, and that was the play, right? It was all the attachments. So this thing doesn't turn on, or if it's got a weird noise or a whine, then we throw that thing to the trash, or we donate it to Stavers. We take the attachments and we try to get 30 to 50 bucks for the attachments, because one of the attachments is like right here, right? Like this is an attachment, and this right here on eBay could be 20 to 40 bucks pretty quickly, as is the rotating cylinder device inside of it. The plunger thing could be 15. You know what I'm talking about? So that's kind of like what's going on in our head. The asking price was $20, and you know, there was one lady that there was like 20 bucks at the garage sale, and the other lady was like, but we need to get rid of it. And you know, I usually don't like the first lady, right? The first lady's like, oh, can't you just get out of here? Because the second lady's like willing to move it for whatever, and she's the one who's like, whatever you want to offer, whatever you want to offer. But the first lady's like, 20 bucks, 20 bucks. So you know, finally we were just like, look, we don't really know how to use this thing, how to put it together, which was a semi-lie. But you know, then again, I've never hustled one of these Champions before. But it was one of those things where she was like, I think it works, I'm not sure, blah, blah, blah. Husband's inside, he's still asleep. And that was one of those things you can play against them, right? So if the asking price is 20, but then the lady, you know, can't prove anything that it's working or whatever, we eventually got it to like $5, and that was important. So that was a no-brainer. Like if you ever get into those deals, don't be thinking, well, I might lose $5. That is the wrong thought process to have. The right thought process to have is everything's risky, right? Everything has risk associated to it. Mitigating the risk, you must understand that if you find things very complete, whether it be video game systems or Walkmans or whatever, you know, if something fails, if you're in for such a low price, it doesn't matter. Sometimes the attachments, the headphones, the controllers, the power supply can make your money back. So anyway, yeah, it's a great gamble. That's what Garage Flip is saying. Pretty neat. Joshua Davidson says that's an insane talk down. Yeah, it only like lasted 5 minutes or so. And it was raining outside, which was like kind of uncomfortable, like drizzling. So anyway, thank you for the likes, by the way. We got Facebook that is like highly engaged right now, like liking the video. Hey, you guys on YouTube, hit the like button. That's in order. Okay, so let's talk about one of the better finds of the morning, an unadvertised find, okay? So we went to a garage sale. So there's a learning thing here, yes, so hang with me. Went to a garage sale, didn't find anything. We're perusing through the garage, and I like to see like the bikes that they have, and it might look like, oh my God, he's like casing our place. But I look at things and I analyze things, and this has worked in many circumstances for me, where you look at something in the garage and you act like you don't know if that's part of the garage sale or not, right? So of course I see a wakeboard on the ceiling mounted. Not on the ceiling, but on the wall, and it's mounted, and it's like cherry. It looks badass, and I know it's a good wakeboard. It's not like one of those junky ones. It's a good one. And me being a wakeboarder, of course, this is kind of how I know that stuff. And I live in a lake town, so a lot of things are spinning out in my head. I'm not going, oh, I'm going to strip it on eBay. That's not going on in my head. I'm thinking local sale, good wakeboard, great brand, really good condition, right? And of course, I'm like, well, is that part of the garage sale? And the lady goes, no. It's not part of the garage sale, but he never uses it. So, you know, I'd be willing to sell it. So what do you think you would want to buy it for? Now, I don't like being in that predicament, but I know exactly what to do in that predicament. And what you need to do in that predicament is let a little bit of that uncomfortable silence kind of set in, okay? And you have to always say like, well, you know, I don't know if it's going to fit someone that's on the boat. Make up some stuff, right? I know I need one, but it's just really up to you. Like, what do you think you're best for? You always want to ping pong that ball back into their court so they give you a price. Now, why is that? Is because if you say a price, but then they were thinking lower, now you've just bid yourself up. Does that make sense? So you always want to ping pong the ball back and have them say the first price. So she said 50 bucks after about bona fide ping pong in about 3 minutes worth. Right. And this is one of those garage sales also where E-Money was like, all right, we're done. Let's get out of here. Right. And I was like, hold on. I was like, I see something I'm going to ask about this because I'm not sure if this is really part of the garage sale or not. I really was completely unsure. But it's also one of those ways that if you'd be surprised how many people go forward and go, well, what would you offer for it? I guess we could sell it. I've had that happen to bikes, wakeboards, radio controlled cars, all kinds of stuff that are inside of a garage. So anyways, fast forward. E-Money wants to leave. I don't. I start talking to this lady, and after 3 minutes, she throws out $50 for the wakeboard and the bindings. They're all together. Okay, so I've separated them, and I was like, yeah. Now this is one thing that I always do, right? Because I want a lower price than that, but I don't want to be insulting, right? So what I do is I take what I want to pay, which is $40, and then I take something below that, right, which is $30, and I go, look, I was gonna offer $30, but I'm willing to step it up to 40. All right, that sounds really good. That's like a compromise, right? You know how many people like back away from a compromise and go, oh, you know what? No, that happens like 5% of the time, like as a response. Most of the time, 95% of the time, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, I can do that. That's cool. So you have to go lower, appear like you're going higher. Does that make sense? So if an item's like $10, but you really want it for 5, you could say like, hey, I was gonna offer 3, but I'm gonna step it up to 5. You think we can do that? And a lot of people, 95% of them are just gonna be like, yeah, cool, you can just take it. So think about that. We have Yolo and Mike in the house. Just check out your channel. Keep up the good work, Garage Flips. Oh, so that's the Garage Flips channel. Yeah, we go. Here, Thomas Wilkinson. This is a great, great quote. I love silence. He who speaks first loses. I love that. Yeah, and Andrew Kunkel from Facebook is saying, let the seller set the anchor, and the anchor being kind of like the starting point. Anyway, so check that out. That's just a tip from me to you guys. Got the wakeboard, $40. Resell the wakeboard with the bindings in this town, 200. Considerably 200 pretty easily, right? Great condition. Only problem is the bindings do fit me, right? And I do own a boat, so I am going to keep the bindings, right? But the board's going to go up. So still make money on that. Get some great bindings that are like basically mint, and that's how that story is going to go down. All right, let's fast forward to the next thing that I found and some of the best stuff. Do you guys want to see something cool? I'm going to give you guys a hint on something I found that I might keep. You know, I hate saying that because we're in the business of flipping stuff. Problem is, when we go to garage sales or thrift stores, we come across some cool stuff. So I'm gonna give you one hint on one of the other things that are down here. You can't see it, all right? Let me make sure in the other thing, no, you can't see it in the Facebook one, can't see it in YouTube. There's something down there that is way awesome. So it has to do with a very stereotypical line from the Ace Ventura 2 movie, right? And it also, I wanna say, Jessica Simpson made a really bad joke about this one thing too, like back in the day. Now, how do I know that? I don't know, but I pay attention to pop culture. So anyway, Ace Ventura 2, the one with the jungle involved and all that stuff. There's something down there, right? And then there's something, take a guess. You can take as many guesses as you want. And the Jessica Simpson made a really bad joke about this. She was like slammed for saying this thing or something like that. 14 Emelina, oh man, someone already got it. That's pretty good. So I guess my hints are too good. 14 Emelina got it. There's something really good down there. All right, so let's go into, before we get down to whatever's down there, I'll show you. Now I want you guys to seriously hit the like button here, okay? Because this is gonna be awesome. I like the second thing here, and some people are gonna really like the first thing here. I did show this in the green room. It was one of my things I showed first yesterday because I like this stuff. It's not gonna bring in a terrible amount of money. One of the things I will keep. I hate saying that. I might sell it. Okay, so keep or sell, because I think it's my size. I'm pretty sure it's my size. You got to tell me right now in the Facebook feed, all right? And you got to tell me in the YouTube feed, do I keep this or not? Now, you must understand that when I went to high school, it was in the 90s too. And you must understand, if you watch my ride-alongs, that I do love this band. So what is that band? What do you guys think it is? Tell me. What's the band? What's the thing I'm going to show you guys? No, it's not a heavy metal tuna, but like, what is it? Oh man, okay. Let's see. Keep it. A lot of people are putting some really funny comments in YouTube. Okay, so someone got it. 14 Emelina is probably my #1 fan here. Seriously. I don't want to call you guys fans, but like my #1 sub. That's right. I found this. Now this is a reissue, okay? So just before you get like, holy crap, that's a $100 shirt. All right, it's just an 07 reissue. But it's bitching, right? I love it. Check it out. Oh, hypercolor is what Cat for Breakfast said. Ooh, that would be super sick too. Although the hypercolor part wouldn't have worked anymore, but you know what I'm talking about. Check it out. Yeah, dude, I'm telling you. This is, you know, here's the thing. It's not my favorite album, okay? Like, I think my favorite album is a toss-up between Fade to Black, Ride the Lightning and Master of Puppets. But yeah, dude, this is my size. What do you guys think? My size, too short, too long? I think it's perfect, but anyway. Now I'm thinking about also shaving the arms off and just making it like a tank top so it can be like super cred rock style. And I think I'm just gonna park a trailer in my front yard, and then I'm going to get a pit bull, right, with no leash. But you know what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about. I think it's pretty cool. Now the reason why I know it's a reissue, anytime you get across these vintage looking shirts, let's call them looking because you have to be careful. First thing you want to take a look at is the tag. Okay, a tag is clearly in perfect rectangular shape, nylon, Hanes heavyweight. All right, so this thing is definitely not vintage anymore. The second you see a Hanes heavyweight in a perfect tag like this, yeah, okay, that's probably not a vintage one. Then, if you take a look, because in order to be true vintage, it must have been made by, well, I'm not gonna act like I know what I'm talking about here, because I know that this was licensed after the fact to this place called Bravado Merchandising. So Metallica and their whole people and their whatever crew can license the use of Metallica to other people. And these other people might make shirts that go to like Hot Topic and other things like that. But still, this is an 07 shirt, which is good. So that's 10 years old. And it's made by Bravado. Nothing crazy, but we just know that, you know, this shirt, probably brand new, is, I mean, I could probably sell this thing for 20 to 30, let's be honest, right? Probably could. But not going to. And it's one of those things that it'll always be worth 20 to 30, like as long as I don't completely destroy it. But when I look at vintage shirts, yeah, I don't look at, I mean, I look at the tag first, and the tag is almost always the dead giveaway that this is something a little bit more current day. Old shirts is, 14 Amelina said, I heard that old shirts have single stitching. Don't know. I mean, this is double on the shoulder line right here on the clavicle, and we have single on the arms. I don't know the true, I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna act like and I've always wanted to get someone that is definitely vintage t-shirt, concert or sports stuff, or even anything vintage t-shirt related on one of my green room hangouts. So if you guys know someone, or if you guys consider yourself a pro, please send me a message on Bonafide Hustler Facebook, because I do want to have you on the show. Okay, even if it's a panel type show where we have like 3 people talking, I really want to learn more about this kind of stuff. And what better way than, yes, to sink money into stuff like this, but it's better to always get, you know, higher level learning from somebody. Okay, so anyway, so that's pretty cool. Thought that was an interesting find. Now here's the next one, right? So if you guys aren't into metal but you're more into sports, you might appreciate this next one. Let's put the And Justice for All there. And what's my favorite song on And Justice for All? Go ahead, guess it right now. I don't know if anybody's gonna guess it, but knowing what I like, what do you guys think? I know I got Metallica fans out there. There's just no way. I mean, Metallica was like huge in the 90s, still pretty big in the 2000s. Well, yeah, the 90s were like really its year. 80s and 90s. So what do you guys think? All right, and if you guys know someone that loves vintage shirts, loves selling them, reselling them, concert, sports, whatever, send them a message, be like, hey, Bonafide's on this video said, like, you know, I think you'd be perfect for this. So just send them to me, like send them to me. No, it's not one. So some people are guessing like the song on the And Justice for All album, right? That's my favorite. It's not one. It's not that one. It's one that's like different. I like it a lot. Paul Tidwell says there's no good definition for vintage. Yeah, so it can be interchanged with retro sometimes. But yeah, you know, I still think it's going to be worth 20 to 30 considerably all the time. But like I said, it's a reissue 2007, or it's a licensed shirt 2007. You know, it's not anything to be a super like, oh my God, like I said, it's not that, right? But it's nice. Yes, Marcus Grau has it. All right, Blackened. That's my favorite song from that album. So that is a great song. Blackened is phenomenal. All right, you guys ready for this next t-shirt? Tell me if you like this, okay? I paid 10. I paid 10 for the Metallica shirt, by the way, too. I had to rescue it. I couldn't like leave it in the rack. There's some other shirts in there that were pretty decent too. What did I see? A Mastodon shirt. That's a little bit more current day. I didn't see a Sepultura shirt. I saw a couple other ones that were really neat, but like they weren't as neat as the Metallica ones. So, ready? What do we got here? Oh, people are like saying people. Okay. Anyway, okay. Here's the next one. This is more sports related. So check it out. What do you guys think? thought this was pretty cool. I was like, I gotta rescue this thing. Like, even if it washes out, I have to. Washes means it doesn't sell for anything more than what I paid for it, which that's impossible. But anyway, this one is definitely retro, okay? I wouldn't call this vintage, although people are going to use the vintage word, but this is retro. I thought this was really, really cool. So if you guys think this is cool, let me know. Hit the like button, whatever. Yeah, Yolo and Mike says, that's sick. I like this. I mean, it's super, looks like something that Mr. Paul Cantu, which we have had on the Green Room show, would wear. So I thought this was really neat. This is made by Magic Johnson Tees. So definitely retro. You can check the completeds of Magic Johnson tees. They'll go anywhere from 20 to what seems to be like 80 bucks, right? Something like that. Mike Raleigh says it's ugly. Yeah, look, I'm not gonna wear it, but someone that's, dead fan, whatever, like perfect fan for Charlotte Hornets is gonna be like, dude, that's crazy looking. So, when you're a diehard sports fan, you'll sink money into all kinds of crazy stuff. Satin jackets, throwback hats, shark tooth, this or that, big logo, whatever you want. But I thought it was pretty neat. So yeah, it's sick. I thought it was cool. It's got that crazy 90s vibe to it. Back is the same thing. I thought it was pretty cool. So what do you guys think it'll sell for? Honestly, like, I'm thinking worst case scenario, $25, right? I'm not in the business to do a $10 to a $25 shirt, but I am in the business to put this in my booth and also maybe cross-listed on eBay. So, if I end up getting 25, 30 in the booth, cool. If I end up getting more on eBay, then even better. But I'm also in the business of rescuing neat things. I mean, and this just had to be rescued. Like, of all the shirts in there that I saw, there were a ton of good ones, but like, they were all like, they were taxing pretty heavily on these shirts, meaning charging a lot of money. So I thought that this one was definitely one of those things where I was like, I'm willing to pay 10 bucks for that one. Thought it was pretty neat. Okay, so I thought it was cool. 30 to 35 is what Chicago Crown Hustler says. So not bad, First class rate. So that's also going through my head. Not too bad. Definitely want to rescue it, show it, and hopefully a diehard fan will love this thing. Higher than 35 is what Teg Knox says. So pretty cool. 30-ish is what, yeah. So a lot of people are in the 30 to 40 range. Pretty good. I think, oh yeah, we have to go. I have one more thing to show you guys. I think there's one more thing. Let me make sure I show you everything. You guys having fun on the show? Hopefully you guys are having a great time. You guys want to see the last thing? A lot of people guessed it. So you got to tell me here, keep or sell. I mean, I could sell it. I'll make money. Okay, it's clear. I spent $10 on this guy. Yeah, man. Bumblebee tuna. I thought it was neat. Now, the reason why I'm saying, do I keep this or not, is because of this one feature on the back. What is the feature on the back that leads me to think, maybe I should keep this? Why would Bonafide keep this? Think about it for a second. The tuna. I know, everyone's like, the tuna. The real question is, what are the chances that after garage sale day on Saturday, last Saturday, that I actually took this thing out and ran after my dogs with it? What do you guys think? Yes or no? 100%, 80%, 50%? Knowing what you know about me, is it possible that I actually chased the absolute crap out of my dogs with this thing in my hand? Think about it. So I thought this was pretty cool. So this was found on a little kind of street fair garage sale kind of thing. You'll see it on the ride along. We have a little tuna. Thought it was neat. What's on the back that makes it so cool that I like? People are saying it's a light, it's a clock. No, this is what I like on the back. It's pretty simple, guys. Look, it's a hanging hook. Like, it's ready to be hung. That's pretty neat. I like that. You know why? Because that means this is an easy thing to hang in the booth. It doesn't have to like lay down flat, because you know that if I put this in the reach of children and it's laying down flat, this thing will be destroyed in less than 2 days. But if I put it somewhere high and I hang it, that's key, right? So having a hanging thing is really key as well. But also placing it on a wall maybe as a backdrop to my videos, never know. I think it might be pretty neat for the live green room hangouts to have a little tuna in the background. So thought that was cool. Yeah. Joshua Davidson says about 100 bucks. A lot of people are saying like 100. Yeah, this is going to be worth some good coin, right? Any kind of aquatic themed or seafood restaurant in town opening might want this. We have lakes galore and all kinds of lake restaurants here in Austin, Texas that have old fishing nets, old Johnson motors inside of them, you know, all kinds of maritime things. And yes, that kind of person would want this. But think about it for a second. If you're in any home, you know, any town in America, I'm pretty sure you could move this tuna, right? Like, you should never leave a tuna behind. Leave no tuna behind at all, right? All tunas matter, all right? So that's pretty neat. I thought this was, you know, you can see how big it is. Not as big as these shoulders, but it's a neat tuna regardless. I had to pick it up. I can't leave a tuna behind. I can't do it. It's impossible, right? It's just impossible. So I don't know if I'm gonna keep it or not, but let me know. This sucks because this is starting to become the video where Bonafide keeps everything that he bought. But I'm trying, you know, if I didn't find such cool stuff, it'd be easier for me. Like the deer head, that's going. This thing, yeah, I don't know. The Metallica shirt, I like it, right? And what else here that I considering? Oh, I already made a decision to keep the bindings off the wakeboard, which are these, and they're hella sick. So I'm gonna be using the crap out of those. But you know, try to get rid of the stuff that you guys buy. Very, very important. And Michael Bombardier saying, of course you chased your dogs with this tuna. I did. 150%. Ernie Inel Magdaleno says 150% that you did chase the dogs with it. I think the tuna is super sick. Anyway, I gotta be really gentle with this guy because I'm surprised I walked up on the tuna and it was like intact like that. Usually things like that are complete, like if it was a swordfish or something, you know, it would just be all wrecked to hell. But like this tuna was like, it almost looked like sashimi grade tuna, like sitting there at the garage sale. So I had to rescue it. It was in perfect condition, nothing broken. A lot of times when I see stuff like that, things are broken, right? And it really kind of it makes my decision process much easier because I'm like, no. But this one was in perfect condition. I'm like, I gotta have the tuna, dude. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Check out the ride along, which, like I said, at my rate that I edit, it'll probably be out in like a month or two. It's hard to, you know, to edit these videos. I'm telling you, like, that's the reason why I like these live videos a whole lot. They do pay better too. I ain't gonna lie to you, but it's hard to edit some of these videos. It's time consuming, extremely time consuming. But check out for it. I did film, so that's important. And I do enjoy you guys coming along for the live videos, putting awesome comments down, following my journey, following my channel, showing support any way you can. So a couple ways that you can help me out, right? One is you can hit the like button right now. Two, you can do like Michael Bombardier did, and you can share the video with someone that you really like or your whole group or whatever. Third thing you can do is leave a comment after the fact that it's not live. Just leave a comment. Like maybe you like something that I found. You can't have it though, but right, you know what I'm saying. I've had a lot of people like, oh my God, I want that, you know, send it to me. Like, hold on, I'm a hustler, I gotta make money, right? And the fourth thing is, yes, download the book. So 14 Emelina says, download the book. It's the first link down below. It shows you 100 really relatively easy to find items that you can find at thrift stores and garage sales. It's made by the Green Room University, which is the first link down below. I want you guys to definitely check that out. We're at 883 members as of this morning. It's fun. So yes, Garage Flip says this was a terrific show. Good time. We have Jason Kreider. Thanks for your videos. Joshua Davidson, hey, Bonafide, you and Steve have shown me a different way of thinking and ways to make money. Thank you so much. I get these kind of comments all the time. And guys, you guys are totally welcome. But just know that it does take time, it takes effort and all that kind of stuff. So any way that you guys can show support, I am definitely 100% appreciating all of that, right? Because I couldn't be here now or have even met the people that I met to build the Green Room or even have members in the Green Room without you guys, right? Looking at my videos when I was, you know, had 1 subscriber, 50 subscribers, 100 subscribers. It was you guys that really helped me out a lot to get there. So, you know, sharing, you know, I hope to only be through this journey with you guys as we go through more and more years of hustling because, you know, I'm already 12 years into being a hustler and it is still fun with all the business opportunities that I have on the other side. I still find ways to go hustling and still find ways to film these videos and show it to you guys, right? Just trying to do the best that I can. So hit the like button. I really appreciate you guys taking a chance to be here. Let me be done with Facebook. Hold on. All right, I'm done with Facebook. And with you guys out there, next video coming probably tomorrow. And then we have an amazing Green Room show that is, hold on. We have an amazing Green Room show that's going to be on Rakin's channel this Wednesday with a Green Room member. So check that out as well. Till then, take it easy. Goodbye.